Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hey, we want to welcome you to the Intelligent Men Book Club. Do me a quick favor, if you will. Share this with 5 men that you know. And we're going to jump right into this thing. We're doing an extraordinary book review of The Dude's Guide to Manhood by Darren Patrick. The Dude's Guide to Manhood by Darren Patrick. So listen, I just want to make sure we're kicking on all cylinders. So let me just check everything going out. If you are watching and you are a man, ladies, you're welcome to watch, but this is for men tonight. Do me a favor, brother, somebody in the chat, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that the audio is kicking. Let me know that the video is kicking. And we're going to start kicking. I'm excited about this book review. I'm also excited about the book club. The book club is pretty dope. We pick a book and we just take it chapter by chapter, break it down, talk about it, pull out the good stuff, and then we apply it to our lives. I believe that leaders are readers, and I believe that intelligent men read. I am an avid reader. Shout out to my mother, who I have to give credit to for instilling the love of reading, forcing me and my siblings to read like 5 books every summer during our school break, and then write a book report. I have memories that go all the way back to childhood, doing that every summer after summer. And at first I really hated it, but somewhere along the way, I fell in love with it. And I began to recognize the difference that it was making in my communication, my articulation, my understanding of life, my reading comprehension. All of those things just started to really kind of click in a unique way for me. So I try to pass this passion on to men for reading, that I believe that a man that reads well does well. That's good right there. Let me say that again. I believe that a man that reads well does well. So for those of you that are joining in, this is our Intelligent Men Book Club for men. Women, you're welcome to watch, but we definitely want to get our brothers involved. So I'm asking everybody, including women, if you're watching, please tag 5 guys. We're going to talk about this book, Chapter 1, The Dude's Guide to Manhood by Darren Patrick. And if you don't have this book, you can pick it up on Amazon. It's a great book to read, chapter by chapter. And tonight we're going to talk about Chapter 1, Get It Done, Become a Determined Man. Get it done, become a determined man. And as far as I can see, it looks like we're clicking on all cylinders. So we're going to dive right into this. Make sure that the audio is done. Yeah, okay. That's just me checking the audio on our stream. We are live on Facebook, and we're also live on our YouTube channel. So we're easy to find. And I'm asking everybody, please share, because this is going to be a great conversation for men. Chapter 1 of The Dude's Guide to Manhood by Darren Patrick. Chapter 1, Get It Done, Become a Determined Man. Now, he starts this book with a definition of what it means to have determination. And I thought it was a great definition, one that I want to start this conversation off with by sharing. And here's the definition. Determination: refusing to quit until we accomplish our goals. Men, this is our definition that we're going to embrace from this particular book. Determination is what? It's refusing to quit until we accomplish our goals. Now, as men, sometimes we get discouraged. As men, sometimes we start, but we don't finish, simply because we have not developed determination. I have discovered that determination is something that has to be developed. Just like muscles. We have all got muscles, but if you never work out and lift weights and put yourself through the rigmarole and the pain of lifting heavy items and objects, then those muscles will not be developed and they will just lie dormant. But through stress and through pressure, the muscles that we possess begin to get stronger. They begin to increase in size. They begin to increase in strength. And men, I want to share this with you. You have determination within you. It is a part of your DNA, but you have to develop your determination so that you can be that person that refuses to quit until you accomplish your goals. If you're going to accomplish any goals, men, one of the things we have to do is we have to be determined, because there are going to be obstacles, there are going to be problems, there are going to be things that are going to kind of set us back from time to time. Shucks, there are things that are just really going to kind of just knock us off our feet. That's life. And I think the sooner we make peace with that, I think the more we'll be able to go through the different things we've got to go through, because in this life, you're going to have to go through some things to get through some things. So once again, recap, what is determination? It is refusing to quit until we accomplish our goal. So here's the question for men. Will you lead your life, or will you let it lead you? That's the question tonight. Will you lead your life, or men, will you let it lead you? I've made a decision that I'm going to lead my life. And as men, I hope that you will make that same decision as we dive into this book, the Intelligent Men Book Club, talking about getting it done, becoming a determined man. I hope that you'll make up in your mind that you're going to lead your life. Here's what I know. If you don't lead your life, you may not like where life leads you. Oh, that's good right there. Let me say that again. If you don't lead your life, you may not like where life leads you. There are a plethora of men all over the world right now who don't like where their life has led them, and they are where they are because they did not lead their life, or they stopped leading their life. And when you stop leading your life, then you kind of like put yourself in a position where you're in a car driving and you're sitting behind the steering wheel, but you don't have your hands on the wheel. In other words, you're going down the road 75 miles per hour and you've taken your hands off the wheel. More than likely, you're going to go straight for a little while. More than likely, you'll be okay for a little while. But I promise you, it won't be long before your car is going to go too far to the left, too far to the right. And then what happens? You crash. And when you don't lead your life, especially as a man, it is only a matter of time before we crash. So as men, we have to make up in our minds, I'm going to lead my life. I'm going to have determination, and I'm going to be somebody who I'm not going to stop until I accomplish my goals. This is really key, really critical. Now, in this book, Darren Patrick talks about determination and what it is fueled by. And I really do like what he says determination is fueled by. He gives us two things, and I agree totally, and I love them tremendously. Darren says in this book that determination is fueled by, number one, personal competition. Now, I love this because of the word personal. Personal competition means that I'm not competing with you and you're not competing with me. What's up, Andre Taylor? Thank you for joining us. I'm not competing with you and you're not competing with me. We are competing with ourselves. I love this because, man, this has kind of like been my thing for a long time, that I'm not in competition with anybody. And neither are you, even though you might think you are. People think they're competing with other people, but you're really not. The only person you should be in competition with is with yourself. What does that look like? That looks like you making sure that day after day, week after week, month after month, and for sure, year after year, you're getting better. At least 1% better. You're getting smarter, you're getting stronger, you're becoming more disciplined, you're becoming more determined, you're becoming more focused. If that continues to increase over time, I promise you, those goals that we talked about earlier, they're yours. Those goals belong to you. If you can just become somebody who is personally committed to competing with yourself, whatever your goals are, I promise you're going to smash them. You're going to have them. You're going to achieve them. Why? Because the only person stopping you from reaching your goals is yourself. Hey, Sammy, what's up? Thank you for joining me. Amen. I am my own competition. That's what Sammy Mark is saying. And man, that's what we want all the brothers to understand. You are your own competition. Now, here is the flip side of that. If I am my own competition, and I am, then I have to recognize that there's sometimes I'm defeating myself. There's sometimes I am defeating myself. And guys, make sure you talk to me in the chat. I see you. I got my eyes on you. And we're going to rock this thing together. Sometimes we are defeating ourselves. And the only way to make sure that we don't defeat ourselves is that we have to beat ourselves. Either you defeat yourself, right? Or you beat yourself to keep yourself from defeating yourself. Now I got to rewind that because I'm not sure you caught that. Either you defeat yourself or you beat yourself so that you don't defeat yourself. Why? Because it is literally you versus you. I'm reminded of a story that I heard of these two lions that were fighting each other. And a little boy was watching the lions about to go into battle, and he says to his father, "Father, I don't know which one of those lions are going to win." And the father said, "Oh, that's real simple. The one that you feed is going to win." Now, that father was trying to teach the son something because I believe in every man, we have two lions that live inside of us. We have two lions that live inside of us, and one is good and one is bad. One is strong and one is weak. One is loving and one is hateful. One is dark and one is light. We all have two lions inside of us, and they are constantly at war with each other inside of us. But guess what? Me and you get to determine which lion wins inside of you. It's the one that you feed. That's why I'm so big on reading, because when you read, you feed the lion that you want to win. You feed the lion wisdom and knowledge and strength. That's the lion you want to win. But sometimes we feed the wrong lion. Woo. Come on, Pastor Troy. Sometimes we feed the wrong lion within us, and we wonder why we don't succeed. We wonder why this is good, why we sabotage ourselves. We wonder why we don't achieve our goals. Brothers, it's nobody's fault but yours. And that's good news, because if it's your fault, then it's your fix. My God, that's good. Can I say that again? If it's your fault, my brothers, it's your fix. That's why one thing I teach men, if you want to be great in this life, own your stuff. The world says own your ish, okay? And that's ISH. That's all I'm saying. If you will own your stuff, I don't care how much you mess up. I don't care how many mistakes you make. Hey, what's up, Michael George? I don't care how many times you drop the ball. Guys, I'm going to give you a secret. If you will own your stuff, you'll do great things in this world. If you'll own your stuff and not be somebody who blames other people, not be somebody who shoves the blame. And listen, I'm to the point where I will own it even if it wasn't 100% my fault. I'm just in the business of saying, you know what? My bad. That's on me. How can I fix it? My bad. That's on me. How can I make it right? My bad. That's on me. How can I do better? Because I'm not somebody who's going to be going around here shoveling responsibility, shoveling blame. And again, I do this even if it's not 100% my fault. It's on me. The reason why I do that is because that allows me to always remain in control of my destiny. Why? Because I'm taking control of my decisions. Okay, slow down, PT. Let me sip some coffee because I got to pump the brakes because I'm getting too amped. Are you guys getting this? Sammy says poop. Yeah, help me, Sammy. So I don't want to offend anybody. So poop. Maybe I should have said poop. Own your poop. Okay. Maybe ish was a little too close to the other word. I apologize. Own your poop. Okay. Are you guys getting this? Again, we're talking about the Dude's Guide to Manhood. One of the things that we need to be teaching men and young boys is what it means to walk in manhood. And that doesn't just mean hair on your chest and a deep voice and testosterone and having a penis. No, manhood means that you are going to be in personal competition with yourself. And then here's the second one. Determination is fueled by the disdain for losing. Ooh, this is good. That's right, Andre Taylor. Take responsibility. That's what we do as men. Now catch the second part. Determination is fueled by what, men? By the disdain for losing. Again, keep in mind, we're talking about you competing with yourself. There should be something inside of you that has a disdain for losing to the weaker part of you. Whew. There should be something inside of you that has a disdain to losing to the lesser part of you. And if you've got it, you've got what it takes to be great. If you or somebody, what's up, Denarius? Glad you're joining us. We don't mind women joining us. Women are welcome to join us. Absolutely. You got to have a disdain, guys, for losing. And if you've got that, you've got what it takes. If you're somebody who's not at peace with where you are right now, you're going to be okay. Now, I believe in being grateful. I believe in being thankful for our blessings. But men, I do not believe in settling. And I know some people have tried to pull me to the side and say, hey, PT, I think you're a little too hard on yourself. I think you critique yourself a little bit too hard. I think that pressure that you put on yourself is unhealthy. And I've had some conversations with some people, some novices who didn't know any better. They mean well, and I let people talk sometimes. So hey, I listen, and I have to explain to people it's not what you think it is. The pressure that I put on myself is not an unhealthy pressure. The pressure that I put on myself is actually a healthy pressure because it allows me to discover what's the word I'm looking for? It allows me to discover what exists beyond mediocrity. It allows me to discover what I am capable of doing if I don't settle. So I don't have this unhealthy critique of myself. I have a healthy competition with myself. I have a healthy disdain for losing. And what that simply does, it allows us as men to continue to discover what's next. Brothers, never settle for what's now. Appreciate what's now. Celebrate what's now. But listen, always be curious as a man to discover what's next. Because as you tap into this determination, you'll find out, oh, there's more in store for you. Now, in this world, I want to settle this, and the brother says this in this book, The Dude's Guide to Manhood. He says this, that in this world, pain is a given. I think most of us, if all of us can agree, as men in this world, pain is a given. He also says that adversity is a given. That's correct as well. Then he says something that I want to repeat. He says in this book, you can't escape the curveballs and the crisis in life. You can't escape the curveballs and the crisis in life. And in this book, he uses the metaphor of baseball. I don't know if you've ever played baseball. If you have, and you've been faced with a pitcher who can really control the ball and knows what he's doing, sometimes that pitcher can throw a curveball, and a curveball is a very deceptive ball because it looks like it's going to go right where you think it's going to go. You see it with your eye. You know where you're going to smack it and knock it out of the park. But when you swing, you miss it. You're like, how did I miss that ball? I timed it just right. It went right over the plate. How did I miss it? Well, you missed it because he probably threw you a curveball. See, the tricky part about a curveball is that it will maintain a path for a certain amount of time, and then right when it gets to the plate, it curves. And right when you swing, watch this, the ball moves out of the path that you thought it was going to be on. In this life, man, we experience that over and over and over again. It's called expectations. I like this, man. See, as men, we have expectations. We have a certain way we think things are going to go. We have a certain way that we plan things to go. Well, this is going to happen this way. I've planned it. I've charted it. But how many men know that life throws you curveballs? Here's what I want to tell the men on this live. Don't let the curveballs make you think that you need to throw away your bat and walk away. No, curveballs are part of life. There are going to be times you're going to miss. There are going to be times you're going to swing and you're not going to hit anything but air. But we don't quit. Why? Because this topic is about determination. We hang in there. We got 3 strikes. You say, well, Pastor, what do I do if I struck out? Well, go to the pen and sit. Here's the good news. You're going to get another chance. Yeah, all you got to do is wait and watch. You'll get another chance because you're in the rotation. And far too many times as men, we become so dejected, so frustrated, so distraught that we strike out and we never come back to the plate. Woo, this is good teaching right here. We strike out, but we never come back to the plate. What's up? What's up, Andre Jr.? We strike out and we never come back to the plate because we were so embarrassed. We were ashamed that we struck out. We were ashamed that we had to move back in with our parents. We were ashamed that we had to go through a foreclosure. We were ashamed because we had to go through a bankruptcy. We were ashamed maybe because we had to go through a divorce. We were ashamed because we lost a job and had to downsize. We were ashamed because we had to borrow so that we could make it from month to month to month. And I came to tell men that part of your manhood is being able to strike out but stay in the game. Oh, that's good teaching. Part of your manhood is to be able to embrace the curveballs and say, okay, yeah, that didn't go the way I planned it. That didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, but I'm still on the team. I'm still in the game. Now, I might have to go sit in the dugout for a while, but I'm in the rotation, baby. I'm in the rotation, baby. That means I'll be back. And sometimes you got to tell the pitcher that struck you out, I'll be back. Oh, my God. That's good teaching right there. Men, what struck you out? What pitcher struck you out? Was it divorce? Was it parenting? Was it a lost job? What pitcher struck you out? And you need to tell that pitcher, oh, I'll be back. I'm not done. I'm not going to quit until I connect. You can throw all the curveballs you want, but I've got determination. Brothers, this is the game-changing teaching right here. Determination will always give you an opportunity to redeem yourself. Michael Jordan says parenting, that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one because, man, kids are just different and unique. You compile parenting with leading a family and then the responsibility to provide. And then sometimes you got rebellion and you got to do discipline and you got knuckleheads that don't want to listen. So parenting can be a booger bear. Here's what I tell all men who are fathers and you're parenting, hang in there. Stay in the game. Don't walk away. Why? Because those kids need you. Your children need you to be determined. You talk about determination. They need you not to give up on them when they won't listen to what you're telling them. Woo! Good God Almighty. They need you not to give up on them when they are a pain in your neck and your backside. This is where determination is important for men. In other words, we're locked in, we're committed, and even though we're frustrated, we're not going to quit because we understand the game needs us. And even though we might not always get it right as a parent, we might not always get it right in our marriage, we might not always get it right in our finances, we're not going to quit. Here's what I tell men. Be so determined that you don't quit the game, but you learn the game. Woo. Man, that's good teaching right there. Can I say that again? Let me slide my chair. I'm all over the place. Be so determined that you don't quit the game, but you learn the game. Addiction is a great one, Sammy. That was one of mine. Yeah, the pitcher on the mound threw me several curveballs of addiction, alcoholism to be exact. And I struck out on many occasions. And I can laugh about it now. It wasn't a laughing matter then, but I can laugh about it now because you know what? I overcame it. I overcame it because I was courageous enough to go back to the pitcher's mound and say, okay, throw another one, throw another one, throw another one. Here's what I'm telling people, man. If you won't quit, I promise you, you can conquer it. Oh, man, that's good right there. Put that on a t-shirt, somebody. If you don't quit, you can conquer it. But you'll never quit until you develop what? Determination. That's right, Sammy. I swear to, brother. Somebody say that in your spirit. If I don't quit, I can conquer it. I believe in you, men. I truly do believe in you. And I want you to understand you've got to make up in your mind that you're going to be determined. So let me recap and move forward. In this world, pain is a given. Go ahead and make peace with it. In this world, men, adversity is a given. It's going to happen. I don't care how saved you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how good you look. You're going to have pain. You're going to have adversity. And then last but not least, you cannot escape the curveballs and the crisis in this life. Point blank, period. Ain't no escaping it. But we're not trying to escape it. We're going to conquer it. Why? Because we are determined. Now, he says this, to become a determined man, you need to lose your excuses. Oh, God, I love this. He says you need to lose your excuses, own up to your weaknesses, and make the most of your time and your energy. Oh my God, I could camp out here for a long time. Let's take this first one, lose your excuses. That's the one thing we've got to do, guys. If we're going to be anything in this world, we've got to lose our excuses. I have a saying that I've been rocking with for years. Please let me repeat it again, though you might have heard it 100 or maybe 1,000 times. Excuses make you useless. Excuses make you useless. One more time. Excuses make you useless. So, what do we got to do? We got to make up in our mind, I'm not going to accept my excuses. See, when you stop accepting your excuses, you might make them, but you won't take them. Woo! Okay, PT. Come on, man. Can I say that again? When you lose your excuses, you might make them, but you won't take them. In other words, you won't accept them. Then he says, you got to own up to your weaknesses. Now, this is a tough one for some men because some men love to pretend or love to project the image of not having any weaknesses. And that is a foolish man, not a wise man, because a true man understands that all men have weaknesses. I've got my weaknesses. You've got your weaknesses. What does that mean? Well, because I've got weaknesses, that means I've got things I need to work on. See, sometimes we like to lean to our strengths, and strengths are great, but if you're not improving your weaknesses, then your weaknesses will always be your weaknesses. And your weaknesses will always be a weight that you have to carry. But when you can convert your weaknesses into strengths, then your weaknesses and the weight of your weaknesses becomes lighter and you become stronger because that's one less weight you have to carry. Pastor Troy Wynn Sr. Now that was nice. That was nice. That was nice. So what are we doing, guys? We're going to be determined to work on our weaknesses. This entire lesson is only about determination. How can we embrace it? How can we harness it? What are we going to do with it? And what we're going to do with it, we're going to be determined to work on our weaknesses, but we can't work on them until we own up to them. You want to be a man who walks in true manhood? Own up to your weaknesses and then work on them to eliminate them, to reduce them. And then last but not least, make the most of your time and your energy. Now, this is critical because this truly does take determination because this world is full of things that try to distract us. Not only is the world full of things that try to distract us as men, this world is full of things that we have to do that are not distractions. They're just things that have to be done. As a man, you've got to get up, you've got to go to work, you've got to manage this, you've got to oversee that, you've got to encourage this, you've got to keep that going. Men who are true men walking in true manhood wear a lot of hats. It's normal and it's natural. It's a part of your manhood. Here's where I want to encourage you, brothers. Make the most of your time and your energy. One of the things that I am becoming really good at in my latter years as a 50-plus-year-old man, I'm becoming really good at time management. Now, when you become really good at time management as men and you're determined to make the most of your time and your energy, everybody's not going to like it. Everybody's not going to understand it because at some point when you start making the most of your time and your energy, you have to start telling people no. You have to find other ways to entertain people, and you have to find other ways to handle people and manage people. Why? Because there are only 24 hours in a day. You sleep a certain portion of those hours. You work a certain portion of those hours. You use a portion of those hours to strengthen your mind and strengthen your body, hopefully. And then you donate a portion of those hours to help other people and accommodate other people. And oftentimes as men, that portion of helping other people and accommodating other people gets out of proportion. And we find ourselves not making the most of our time and our energy because we don't know how to balance our time. We don't know how to say no, and we don't know how to make sure that we take care of ourselves. I am teaching and preaching. But when we talk about determination in this new path that we are pursuing, I'm encouraging men to be adamant and be determined about making the most of your time. In other words, you don't want to waste time. You don't want to waste time with time wasters. You don't want to, and when I say time wasters, I'm talking about things that waste time, but I'm also talking about people that waste time. I'm talking about people who like to consume a lot of your time, and really it is a waste because there is not a lot of productivity. I'm encouraging men as you grow older and grow wiser, become a better steward with your time, because let me tell you something. Time is already short and you don't want to waste it. You want to invest it. How do we do that? We got to be determined not to be time wasters. Now, Romans 5, 3-5 is a scripture that the author uses, and I'm going to throw it on the screen because I want you to see it, because I believe it's a very powerful passage that just fits perfectly in what we're talking about here in terms of determination. Give me a few minutes to take a couple of things off screen because I don't want the scripture to be covered up, because it's going to cover up most of the screen here. And I want to make sure you see it. Here it is right here. Romans 5, 3-5. Here's what it says, guys. Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings. Now, there's something profound here I want to share. Knowing that suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, character produces hope, and hope does not put us to shame. If you will, brothers, for just a few minutes, focus on what I've highlighted in this particular passage. Suffering produces, endurance produces, character produces, and hope also produces. It doesn't put us to shame. So hope produces a sense of pride. Pay attention, though. Of the four things that are listed, suffering, endurance, character, and hope, they all produce something. Now, I want to come back on screen because I want to say something that I need you to hear. Suffering produces something. Endurance produces something. Character produces something. Hope produces something. Here's where I really get jiggy. And here's where I get so excited about what I'm about to share, because what I'm about to share is game changing. Are you guys ready for this? I need to make sure you're ready because I just can't throw this out. This is going to be game changing. Here it is. I'm going to put it on the screen because I want you to see it. Determination starts with the right mindset. Guys, please catch this. This is $1 million word. Something good is being produced when we go through something hard, something challenging, or something bad. Oh my God. Let me say it again. This is going to change lives. Something good is always being produced when we as men go through something hard, something challenging, and something bad. Why is this important? Because oftentimes when we're going through something that's hard, when we're going through something that's challenging, when we're going through something that's bad, we get frustrated and we lose our determination and we quit. When we quit, we don't get what we were supposed to get that was being produced, that can only be received if we stay determined. That was nice. Am I helping anybody? Let me go in the chat. I want to see. I want to make sure you guys are getting this because this is game changing right here. This is game changing. I hate to ask the question, but I want you to ponder it and use it as motivation. How much have you lost? How much have you missed out on as men? How much have you forfeited because you didn't stay determined? I want you to think. You don't have to put that in the chat, but I need you to think and I need you to use that as motivation. I can say for myself, the answer is a lot. Lost a lot. Missed out on a lot. Forfeited a lot. Michael Jordan says a lot. A lot because I didn't stay determined. And listen, that's why I love teaching these messages and these lessons, because I teach from a place of experience, because people see me today, but I'm willing to be transparent with you guys. There was a time in my life where I did not have strong determination. In my younger years, I would fold out of frustration very quickly. In my younger years, I would quit and throw in the towel when things didn't work out right. Sammy says a lot. Thank you, Sammy. And I had a bad habit of when I met opposition, I would just quit. I would just give up. I don't know if I just thought life was supposed to be easy. I don't know what it was, but man, I just did not have determination. So I lost a lot. I would be so much further. And again, I'm telling you to think about it and use it as motivation because I have to think about it and use it as motivation. If I don't use it as motivation, it'll depress me. So I'm telling you what I have to do. I have to use it as motivation because I know for a fact, and I believe you'll testify the same thing, guys, that you would be a whole lot further had you had more determination in those critical moments and critical years of your life where instead of forging through and pushing through and commanding more of yourself, you just said, forget it. Quit and run. I would. Man, Sammy, we got a lot in common, man. A lot in common. So what I want you to do is use it as motivation. Don't let it discourage you. Don't let it depress you. Use it as motivation. Why? Because when you know better, you're empowered to do better. Truth of the matter is, most of us didn't know better. Most of us didn't have a coach. We didn't have a teacher. We didn't have a trainer. We didn't have a mentor. We didn't have a guru. We didn't have a sage. We didn't have a sensei. We didn't have a man in our lives to teach us the criticality of determination. So we just said, I'll quit. I'll go do something else. And we wind up with this pile of something else, unaccomplished, unfinished work, when all we had to do was just stick with it, get through it, fall and get back up. And that's the lesson I'm teaching you today, that you can make it, you can have it, you can achieve it. You're going to screw up. You're going to mess up. You're going to drop the ball. You're going to mess it up, guys. Make peace with that. But after you mess it up, the mark of manhood is what you do afterwards. The mark of manhood is what you do after you muck it up, what you do after you mess it up. And I said muck, M-U-C-K, muck it up, okay? I don't want there to be any confusion, okay? I'm not cursing. But what you do afterwards is the true demarcation of your manhood. And I need every man to get in determination mode to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do better. I'm going to become a better man. I'm going to become a stronger man. I'm going to become a humbler man. I'm going to become a more teachable man. I'm going to walk in my fullness of my manhood, which is more than a beard, more than a mustache, more than, start to say pubic hair, more, more than testosterone. No, real manhood is a determination to get it right, a determination to do better, a determination to own our poop. That is the mark of real manhood, to understand that the right mindset means that something good is being produced when we go through something hard, something bad, and something challenging. Man, this is good. I got to get through this. I'm falling behind my schedule. I hope you guys are getting this, man, because this is game changing, gentlemen. This is game changing. The next thing he talks about is the intentionality of choices. Let me just say it this way: determination starts with intentional choices, and all of this is good to me. All of this. I'm sorry, I should not have said pubic hair, Andre. I apologize for that. All right, ladies, please forgive me. This is supposed to be men. We're letting the ladies tip in. So, ladies, don't be offended. This is just men having men talk. Determination starts with intentional choices. Why don't I get everybody to say that? You don't have to type it, but I just want you to say it right where you are. Determination begins with what? Intentional choices. Now, here's the power of intentional choices, brothers. Intentional choices should be made to ensure personal growth isn't overshadowed by unproductive habits. Pastor Troy Wynn Sr. Yo, that's dope and deep, guys. What I just said, That's dope, guys. Intentional choices. I'm gonna change that. Must be made. Let's take the should out and put must in there. Intentional choices must be made to ensure what? That personal growth isn't catch game overshadowed by unproductive habits. Now, you remember what I said about time and being a good steward of time. You got to make sure that you don't have these unproductive habits dominating your life. Because what happens is the unproductive habits kill your personal growth. I am concerned that far too many men do not understand how much focus, discipline, and dedication it takes to really have personal growth. It's not easy. I'll be the first to tell you it's not easy. It requires a well-disciplined mind, a well-disciplined life, a well-organized life where you are so focused that you're not going to allow anything to get in your way. Why? Because the personal growth is going to be the key to the fullness of your manhood, but you can't have any of that without some real, deep, intentional choices. We all got choices that we got to make. If you don't make the choices get made for you. And I promise you, you're not going to like the choices being made for you. So I suggest you make them for yourself. Make the right choice. Make the tough choice, man. Make the right choice. Make the tough choice. Because in the long run, you'll be glad you did. Now, here's a question for us to ponder as men. What are some intentional choices men can make to ensure personal growth isn't overshadowed by unproductive habits? I'm going to go in the chat and I want to look at the conversation on this particular question. I pose this question to my brothers. What are some intentional choices men can make to ensure personal growth isn't overshadowed by unproductive habits? Anybody? I've got a list in my mind, but I want to see what you guys are thinking. What are some intentional choices that men, and listen, I'm saying men because I don't want you to feel like you got to be throwing yourself under the bus. So we talk about men in general, okay? Just men in general. What are some intentional choices that men can make to ensure personal growth isn't overshadowed by unproductive habits? Michael Joyce says giving cheerfully. Now, Michael Joyce, let me tell you something. That is a very intelligent answer that most men would not think of. Because when we talk about personal growth, most men don't understand, in my opinion, that generosity is the key to creating a magnetic force in your life. And if you don't choose intentionally to be generous, then you don't create what I call the perpetual flow of generosity, because we reap what we sow, right? We do what we are. And oftentimes we want abundance, but we don't walk in the spirit of abundance. So giving cheerfully, and again, key word, cheerfully, not grudgefully, not like it's some arduous task, but cheerfully giving, understanding that I can't beat God given. So I make an intentional choice to be a cheerful giver. You know, our church does this thing that I've commissioned the church to do, and God commissioned me to commission the church. It's not my idea. Every Monday, we call it the random acts of kindness. God told me to lead the church down this path every Monday to get all of our people to be actively doing a random act of kindness, because if we can get some consistency corporately, what will happen is we'll start experiencing a perpetual return on our investment, because if you are being randomly kind, then you qualify to receive random kindness. Pastor Troy, we're senior. So again, we talk about giving cheerfully. What people don't know is I make it my business to do a random act of kindness every day, not just on Mondays. I got the church on the training wheel program because I got to start them somewhere. But in my life, it's 7 days a week of random acts of kindness. Monday, I Self-care, my day off. I'm back in the flow of taking my day off on Monday. Try to take half a day on Tuesday if I can. Shucks, because I'm going to take care of me. Monday, I went, got a pedicure. I try to get my feet done once a week, take care of myself, self-care, sitting in the chair, relaxing, not working, just having a good time listening to my music, get my feet done. I get ready to go, and I pay for two other ladies that are there getting ready to leave with me. They got their feet done. Random acts of kindness. I paid for one lady that's behind me. She was sitting next to me, one chair over. We had a beautiful conversation. Didn't know that she knew me. She said something to me. We started talking. She follows me on social media. She shares my material. She told me that I had been a blessing to her. She had lost her husband some years ago, so she was just encouraging me that it's going to get better. And I appreciated the conversation, so I took care of her pedicure. Then there was another lady, an older lady that was in there before I got in there, and I saw her, and I thought she had left because I didn't see her when I was getting ready to pay. So she comes up and she's telling the lady, "Oh, you got blessed. Receive it. You got a blessing." I said, "Well, hey, let me get hers too." What was so funny was the Asian lady was ringing us up, and when I said the second black lady, she says, you don't want hers." Now, the other lady behind me had a substantial bill, which I didn't care. I got it, so I wasn't sweating it. But then the other lady obviously had a substantial bill because the Asian lady said, "You don't want hers." And I guess she was calling herself looking out for me because there were two people plus mine that I was paying for. And I told the lady, I said, "Ma'am, I don't care what it costs. I don't care what their bill is. Ring it up." So while the lady is ringing it up, I tell the two ladies, I said, "Y'all can go ahead and go." And they're standing there looking surprised, like, I don't know what to do. I said, "Y'all can go ahead and leave. Y'all can go ahead and leave." And it was like they weren't sure if they could leave because they hadn't paid. I was like, "Listen, I got it. Go have a good day. God bless you." So they left and I blessed them. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I do this all the time. I don't hardly ever talk about it. Probably wouldn't have talked about this one, but one of the ladies did post something on social media. So I feel like it's okay for me to mention it. But normally I don't mention it. Why am I telling you this, gentlemen? Because I have a determination. Again, this whole lesson is about determination. See, the problem with us is sometimes we use words only in one perspective, determination to work hard. No, I have a determination to be a generous giver. I have a determination to do a random act of kindness every day. Now, you start with one a day, but you have to be determined in everything that you're doing in this life. And here's why I'm telling you this. I am perpetually being blessed. I'm constantly being advanced. I'm constantly receiving miracles and blessings and opportunities. Why? Because I am determined to be a cheerful giver. So thank you, Michael George. You really triggered something in me. Andre Taylor says, make the effort to keep your mind healthy by reading more. Oh, God, I'm loving y'all tonight. Again, we're talking about determination. Men, if you want to advance your life, read more. Yes, read the Bible, but also read something other than the Bible, something that increases your vocabulary, something that expands your understanding, something that triggers your imagination and your dreams and your ambition, something that cultivates personal growth. Andre Taylor Sr. says, better time management. Oh, this is so good. Again, the question is, what are some intentional choices men can make to ensure personal growth isn't overshadowed by unproductive habits? And the time management is key because sometimes we waste a whole lot of time. Video games are cool. There's nothing wrong with playing video games, but you can play video games too long. You can play too many video games when you could be doing some other things, and there are things that need to be done, and you put too much time and fun in video games. And I know there's Andre Taylor Sr. I know he's not playing video games, but I just use it as an example. Better time management. Okay, no matter what you're doing, make sure you've got time management. When you're talking with people, set a time limit. I do coaching. I have people that I coach, they get a time limit. When the time limit is up, boom, your time is up. I got to go do something else. Time management is key. Sammy says, stay the course. Choose the people wisely that you align yourself with. Either you are going to influence them or they're going to influence you. Again, Amazing answer, because that's an intentional choice. Be intentional about the people you align yourself with. Very intentional. Also, be intentional about the people that you allow yourself to be influenced by. Why? Because we infect each other and we affect each other. Let me say that again. We infect each other and we affect each other. Sammy also says we have to also be intentional how we treat our wives and how we treat our children. And the church has to say amen. So you guys get it. You have to be intentional about all of these choices, and how you treat your wife and how you treat your children. That's an intentional choice. Are you going to be a butthole to your wife when she doesn't do what you like? Are you going to be a mean parent to your children when they get on your nerves? Or do you know how to be firm but fair? Do you know how to give them grace? Do you know how to correct them without crushing them? Oh, man, I could go on and on. So, guys, y'all passed the test. These are intentional choices that we have to choose, and the list could go on. Figure out what intentional choice you need to make here and now. As we get ready to go into the month of September, October, November, December of 2025, I want every man who's watching now and will watch this later to pick one intentional choice that you're going to commit to for the rest of this year. Again, key word tonight is determination. Figure out what you haven't been doing that you need to be doing and say, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. And you don't have to tell anybody, but you do have to be honest with yourself and said, I'm going to be intentional about this choice, and I'm going to have some determination so that when I don't feel like doing it, I do it anyway because I know it needs to be done. Man, that's good teaching right there. Now, he goes on to say the key to transformation lies, and I need y'all to catch this. I'm getting ready to close. I'm making my way to the door, but I want y'all to catch this last portion. The key to transformation lies in unyielding determination and commitment to improvement. Please catch those two critical points. Two things: unyielding determination and commitment to improvement. One more time, because I really want to get it in your cerebral cortex. Unyielding determination. What is unyielding determination? Shucks. That means I'm not going to stop till I get it. I'm not going to stop till I get it right. I'm not going to stop till I get better. I'm not going to stop until I grow. I'm not going to stop until I improve. I have an unyielding determination. Then that last part is commitment to improvement. I got to get better. I got to get better. I got to get better. If you run a business, you should be saying, I got to get better. If you're married, you got to be saying, I want to be the best husband I can be. If you're a father, you ought to be saying, I got to get better as a father. If you're a church member, you got to be saying, I got to be a better church member. I got to make a difference. I got to have impact. I got to move the needle in the right direction. Whatever you do, you got to have a commitment to improvement. Why? Because if you aren't progressing, you are regressing. Pastor Troy Wynn said again, if you aren't progressing, you are regressing. If you aren't moving forward, you're moving backwards. Even if you're not moving, you're still moving backwards because life goes on. Whew. Man, that's good teaching right there. So we're talking about get it done, become a determined man. Darren Patrick urges men to focus, and I like this, on the present instead of dwelling on the past, regrets, or future dreams. And I thought that latter part was kind of interesting. Most people probably wouldn't throw that in there like that, but I like that he did focus on the present instead of dwelling on the past, regrets, and instead of dwelling on future dreams. And I like that. I want to just take a few minutes to make sure sometimes we can become so focused on our future dreams that we don't take care of business in our present moment. Ooh. Is anybody catching that? Sometimes we can be so focused on our future dreams that we don't take care of business in our present moments. And then we wonder what happened to our future dreams. Man, your future dreams need you to take care of business in your present moment. Why? Because it's the present moments that allow you to reach your future dreams. You got to take care of business today. You got to do what has to be done today. If not, that dream is just a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. It's today's work. It's today's growth. It's today's commitment. It's today's determination that makes tomorrow's future a reality. That's why you cannot waste a day. Every day, read something. Every day, improve. Every day, discipline yourself. Every day, push yourself to do what you don't feel like doing. Every day, there is an assignment on your life to activate determination in the areas of your life where if you don't activate it, you're going to be aloof, you're going to be lazy, and you're not going to be productive. I am teaching up in here. That's why determination matters. It is one of the most important issues that you and I have got to resolve, that I am going to be a man of determination. I call it a pit bull mentality. That when we lock on to something, we got it. We got it. And it's going to take an act of Congress to make us turn it loose, especially when we're talking about the right things in life and the good things in life. I'm like a pit bull. Once I sink my teeth into it, bruh, you can beat me, you can kick me, you can hit me, you can talk about me, you can snatch the rug out from under me, you can defund me, you can discriminate against me. It doesn't matter. Once I lock my teeth into it, I've got a pit bull mentality. I'm not going to turn it loose until I get ready. And I need every man to have that kind of dogmatic determination for your dreams, for your hopes, for your ambitions. Yeah, that's what it means to walk in the manhood that God has created for you as a man. To say, you know what? Yeah, it's going to happen. It may take me longer than I imagined. I might have a few setbacks. I might miss the mark a few times, but I have put my teeth into this thing. I've got a pit bull mentality. I'm not turning it loose until I get ready. I'm encouraging you as men to get your determination where it needs to be. Here's why. Because progress arises from embracing current realities. Progress arises from making choices, catch this, brothers, that shape a better future. That's where progress comes from. There ain't no magic potion. It's determination all day, every day. In my closing, I'll leave you with this. Embrace determination to overcome life's challenges. Embrace determination to overcome life's challenges. One more time, PT, I need every man, starting here, starting now, to make up in your mind that whatever you've been lacking on and slacking on, that ends right now. That you're going to wake up the dog in you, roof, top dog, and you're going to sink your teeth into your dreams and your goals and your ambitions. And you're going to embrace the determination that's required. It's not a request. It's a requirement to overcome life's challenge. Because we are going to be challenged as men. Pain and adversity is a part of this life. But don't worry about it. Because you built for this. You strong. You're made for this. You have what it takes to dominate everything that has the audacity to try to dominate you. Why? Because your secret weapon is called determination. And you got it. You just got to activate it. Let's go. I want to thank you, men, for joining me for the Intelligent Men Book Club as we dive into The Dude's Guide to Manhood by Darren Patrick. Go ahead and start reading chapter 2, and we'll check that out, to be announced soon. I love you guys. I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you for rocking with me. This is the Intelligent Men's Book Club with your host, Pastor Troy Wynn Sr., Senior Pastor of the Freedom Church. I holla.